hello, and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, July the 2nd. And as always, fingers crossed, we're going to hope that Facebook cooperates. It's even doing something a little bit different than it has the last couple of weeks, so I don't know. I cannot wait until we get back into the showroom and we can start using the Mevo camera again, because it always seems to work. But anyway, hello, I am Kelly. This is IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. Welcome everybody. Today again is Sunday, July the 2nd. Hope y'all are having a great week. We suddenly have summer here in East Tennessee. Karen and I walked today. We walked this afternoon about 5 o'clock, and we were completely soaking wet. The humidity in the air is just ridiculous. But hello everybody. Can't wait to see who all is here. Looks like we've got several people. Hopefully we'll be able to see some comments here in just a second. A little bit of news for this first week of July. First thing is, if you happen to be in the Knoxville area, if you are, and hello Mary, happy 4th of July to you too from Pittsburgh. Hello Mary from Pittsburgh. If you happen to be in the East Tennessee region, we are a franchise Weight Watchers group, and if you happen to be in that region, just a quick reminder that there are no meetings on Tuesday because it's July the 4th. I do not know about non-franchise locations. Hello Vicki. I don't know about Weight Watchers International. Those of you who still have a Weight Watchers International meeting, I do not know. I don't think you would have a meeting on Tuesday, but I don't know about those. I can only tell you about East Tennessee. So no meetings here in East Tennessee. Hello Lynn, it's good to see you. Hello Elaine. Hello Carol Lou, good to see you too. And Carol Lou, that fruit thing, did you get that picture from somewhere else, or did you already make that? Because that looked fantastic. But hello and happy Sunday everybody. It is July the 2nd. We are coming up quick on the July 4th holiday if you are here in the United States. And hello Orlando Debbie. A quick thank you again to Orlando Debbie last week. I was just getting ready to talk about stars. Orlando Debbie sent stars last week, and hello Sandra from Dingman's Ferry. It's good to see you. Last week Debbie was generous and sent some stars. If you haven't done that yet, you can do it on Facebook while we're here live, or you can do it later if you're watching this on demand later over on Facebook. You can give stars and know, yay, hello Sarah, and we are cooking. I've already got something going in the air fryer, Sarah. So Sarah was super excited. I'm going to sidetrack a second. Sarah was super excited that we were going to be cooking something tonight. And let's see, Loretta said, this is weird anymore, but anyway, I'm here. I know, Loretta, it has been different. I don't know, it's been different every single time. So, okay, and yeah, Sarah says I'm frozen. So I'm looking good from my end, so I'm going to keep talking. But Orlando Debbie said, or last week, she sent some stars. And if you want to send stars, again, that's just here on Facebook. It does put, it is a teeny tiny bit of money towards paying for everything like tonight. You don't want to know how much I spend at the grocery store, so that we could have this chat. Of course, we do get to eat the food, but we spend a huge amount of money at the grocery store for this. Okay, so hello and happy Sunday, everybody. Good. There's several of you on here now. Whoop. There's part one. There's part one of part two is finished in the air fryer, so you'll have to stay tuned for part two of this, for the second half of tonight's chat, because part one of part two is finished now in the air fryer. And there is Trish. Hello. And let's see, Sandra is, hold on a second, Sandra, and yes, Vicki, I'm so glad you're here. Sandra is visiting her family in the UP. I knew that, and I hope, tell everybody I said hello. Are you seeing your sister? Tell her I said hello. And hello, Trish from California. And good, Sarah's all hearts and everything. And there is Annette. So again, hello and happy Sunday, everybody. Hello, Katie. It is Sunday, July the 2nd. I'm Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. Anxious to see how many people are going to be here on what I guess could be a long holiday weekend for most of you. Not for me. I get one day off, so I get Tuesday off. And yes, good evening and hugs to you, Sarah. But I get one day off. I get Tuesday off, so could be a long weekend for the rest of you. If you're watching this on Facebook, we are, oh wow, we have 3 links. I don't know what that is. And hello, Melissa. Good, Melissa finally caught us live. So hello, as if you don't already hear me talk enough. Melissa's here live with us. Melissa, just a reminder, no workshop Tuesday night because it is July the 4th. Yeah, so, and it's hot here in Knoxville. What do you think? Karen and I got soaked today, not because of the rain. We got soaked because we were walking and it was so humid outside today. But again, if you're watching with us live on Facebook, you can give hearts, you can give thumbs ups, you can give sweet comments, or you can give stars, and the stars do give us just a little bit of stopping, to help cover some of our expenses. Okay, so back to our news. East Tennessee girls No, oh no. Vicky says the heat index today was 105. Okay, ours wasn't that bad, but the humidity felt like it was about 110%. I know it can't be more than 100, but it felt like it. Felt like we were in Florida, right, Orlando, Debbie? But today is Tuesday, July the 2nd. The little bit of news for tonight. First thing is Knoxville girls, or if you're in the East Tennessee franchise Weight Watchers group, no meetings on Tuesday because of July 4th. If you are in a non-franchise group, so if you still get to attend a Weight Watchers in-person meeting, I'm assuming that Weight Watchers International is not having meetings on Tuesday. Not 100% sure about that. And I don't know about the coaching, so I'm not sure about the online coaching, but I'm assuming that everybody's going to kind of take a break on Tuesday. The second bit of news is Tuesday's July the 4th. So I know I just said that, but that is some news. So in case you hadn't been paying attention, or, in case you just haven't looked outside lately, Tuesday is July the 4th. How are you getting prepared for that? So I would love to hear how some of you all are getting ready for July the 4th. It's Tuesday. It's coming soon. Some of you all were celebrating this weekend. I saw several people that were going to go ahead and have their celebrations this weekend. I'll tell you how we celebrated. Well, we haven't celebrated yet. Tuesday, fingers crossed, John is actually going to be off from work on Tuesday. I'm already closed. I closed my business on Tuesday. We're taking the day off. Hopefully, John is also off. They're trying to talk him into working, but I'm saying no, because we're going to take the girls, the granddaughters, and go to Frozen Head State Park and go on a hike and have a picnic and all that kind of fun stuff. But, and hello, Jonna, also to celebrate, we were at our local Ace Hardware today getting keys made, and John, we got ready to leave, and John walked out the door, turned around, came right back in, and he goes, "Do you see that?" And I said, "What?" And he goes, "That grill." And it was just a charcoal grill, but it was a Weber charcoal grill. And I said, "What about it?" And he goes, "It's $70. And he goes, "Look at it. It's brand new. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's out of the box." So to celebrate the 4th of July, we bought a $219 Weber charcoal grill today for $70. So yay, happy 4th of July to me. And then the last little bit of news is that we are now less than 2 weeks, and I'm sorry, I was hoping to be there tonight, but we are now pretty sure we're less than 2 weeks away from being back over in the Casey Kitchen Center new showroom for our chats, and Lily has been helping me get ready, so we already have set up over there. We're still waiting on the countertops to be finished. Wish I knew somebody that did countertops. We're waiting on that, and then the guy has to come back and hook up the water and the gas and finish the electric, and then we should be in. But Lily has been helping me get ready, and she is so excited. She is 16 years old. She loves cooking. She loves all things cooking. And so last year we taught her how to can green beans, peaches, blackberries. I don't know, we did a few other things. This year she is so excited, and she actually helped me make one of the things for the second half tonight, and was like, over the moon excited about it. But we've already set up a Presto digital pressure canner. That is set up and ready. We have set up the Instant Pot that has come in. We have set up, of course, I already have 2 Simple Living air fryers there. I have one here, and I have 2, and hello, Joycelyn from California. I have 1 there, or 2 there. Those are already set up. Aloha, Kathy. We have set up the food processor. We've got our super cubes all out and ready to go. We've got our DAX spices ready to go. So we are setting up around trying to get the countertops, electric, gas, and water finished. So we're setting everything else up. So we are ready to go. And Sherry, thank you so much. Sherry just sent stars. So if you all didn't see that, Sherry just went on Facebook and she sent 50 stars. Thank you very much, Sherry, for that. That was so sweet of you. And I'm going to let it replay again just because I love the way it looks. And hello, Myrna. I saw you this week. But Sherry, thank you very much. So Sherry sent stars, and it's that little burst of stars coming up. That was very sweet. Thank you so, so much. And Sherry sending stars will help pay for what we are going to be cooking tonight. So thank you very much. But we've got all of that set up and ready to go. Now we've just got to get the boys going on finishing the countertops and the water, the electric, and the gas, so that we can get going. But Lily and I've got a whole bunch of stuff set up in preparation for you all, and I'm trying to talk her into staying there with me or coming and joining me a Sunday night or two so that y'all can meet her and she can have some fun. So she's 16, again, learning how to cook. She loves it, and she is so loving this, and she helped me make one of the things that we'll talk about in the second half. Okay, First thing I need to know is who attended an in-person workshop this last week. I did not, because we were closed last Tuesday night for this last Tuesday night for Vacation Bible School. But give me some thumbs ups if you attended an in-person workshop this week, or I attended a virtual workshop. So I went to Gwen's Zoom workshop on Thursday night. Oh, Siri, I wasn't talking to you. Let's just go ahead and quiet her right now. Let's put her on water feature so she'll hush. But give me some thumbs ups. Good Loretta. If you went to an in-person workshop, or if you did a virtual workshop, like if you went to Gwen's workshop with us, yeah, thumbs ups. And hello, Mary. Yeah, Mary was there. Lynn, thumbs ups. I saw Lynn there, and I saw Myrna there. Let's see, who else did I see there this week? I saw a lot of you all there this week. Not a lot, but for it to be closing out on a holiday weekend, there were several of you there. So thumbs ups for that. And then let's see some hearts if you were here with us live last week, or if you watched later on demand. And yep, and Sarah says Larry wasn't on this morning, so she is so glad to be here. And hello, Sherry from Cape Coral, Florida. Yeah. So yeah, hearts. Kathy's giving all hearts. Yep, Sandra, thumbs ups and hearts. So bravo stickers to everyone who went to an in-person workshop, did a Zoom workshop, did a virtual workshop, or was here with us last week, or watch later on demand. So yeah, bravo stickers. Y'all did this on a holiday week, coming up on a holiday week. So awesome job, everybody. Last week was chat number 323, and we were talking about enlisting your civilian team. And so we were talking about the people that are in your life, and it might be a coworker, it might be a family member, it might even be a stranger. So we had an incidence of that this week where a stranger had some influence, a little bit of influence over what I was going to eat one meal, and that's a civilian. So if it's somebody who's not actively participating in the Weight Watchers program, then they're a civilian because they're not actively enlisted. And we talked about things like the fact that civilians don't like surprises. They might want to support you, but they don't like surprises. So they don't want to like take you out to eat or go somewhere with you, and you get there and go, I know I agreed to come here, but there's nothing I can eat. Everything's too many points, and just have a big pity party for yourself. So they don't like surprises. They like to be prepared too. We did have somebody last week, or I guess it was week before last, say that her husband, and we don't like surprises either, but she said that her husband was really, really bad or really, really good about swinging through the drive-thru and bringing her home something to eat, and she was really, really struggling with it because he was grabbing things that she'd not planned points for, hadn't really decided, that wasn't something that she had planned for, and of course she was going to eat it because she brought it. And genius idea, she gave him a list of acceptable, preferred drive-through places to go to, and then what she would want from those go-to places, those drive-throughs, so that he didn't have to make a decision. He didn't have to call or text or whatever, and her go, I don't know. Easy peasy for him. He's got a list of restaurants or a list of drive-throughs. He's got a list of things that she's already, that would fit within her points budget. Super simple for him. I'm sure had to make him feel more, comfortable with what he was doing. Great for her because he was coming home with something, that was on point. Get it on point, all the time. I thought it was a great idea. But last week I wanted you to enlist your civilian through food, and I think I must have confused you all because not very many people did their homework last week. I think you all were confused about the picnic and thought you had to have a picnic for the 4th of July. Not at all what I meant. So you could have had a picnic at work, you could have had a picnic at your own house, you could have gone, like we live in a loft, I could have gone across the street and just sat on the steps and had a little picnic. But last week your homework was #plan a picnic. Oh, and hello, Corrine. Let's see, Corrine says, my sister likes to do that. She bakes because she likes to do it but takes it to work so she won't be tempted to eat it. Oh, that's a great idea. And yes, Sarah, you all are in trouble because 2 people did their homework, and one of them is 5 years old, and actually a third person did their homework today, and she's here, so she knows who she is. So you're off the hook because you did it today. But anyway, not very many people did their homework this week, and it was so easy. All I wanted you to do was eat. I wanted you to eat with your civilian person. But your homework last week was #plan a picnic, and I just wanted you to find an opportunity to have, 2. I know 2 is super low, Sarah, and one of them is 5 years old. So I'm going to tell you about that here in just a second. But when I asked you to eat, come on, how hard is it to do your homework when I ask you to eat? So always want to do her homework, and I don't think there's been more than a handful of times that she has missed it. Deanna, so y'all can just go ahead and be jealous because Deanna does her homework almost every single week. And this week she created a spread that you have got to go check out. So if you're in our If You Have an Egg closed Facebook group, you've got to go check it out. I mean, this is a spread. So her son is a 911 operator, and he's sadly probably going to be really busy on, he's probably going to be really busy on July the 4th. Hate that because he is a 911 operator. But she made a spread for him, and they're having it the night before. They're having it this weekend and the night before. It's an extravaganza. I mean, I can't even tell you what all was in that spread. I can tell you that part of it was being served on Mickey head plates. And so, you know, I wanted an invite to her house, even though it's several states away, so that I could eat what she was making and have it on the Mickey plates. But her picnic, everybody with her is a civilian. So her husband is the closest thing to a non-civilian that she has, and that's just because he's diabetic. And so he has to have, you know, special food for being diabetic. So he's a willing participant, you know, in her Weight Watchers program. But you got to go over there and look. Don't leave right now and go look, but you have to go look later. I mean, this is a spread. So it's a picnic on steroids. And then the second person to do their homework is a 5-year-old. So I'm not going to lie. I was a little disappointed in their participation in the homework this week. Okay. And it was so easy that even a 5-year-old could do it. And she did. So Alyssa has been listening. And she's been listening to me. She was listening to her teacher, Miss McElhaney, this last year, and it literally fills my heart with joy. She keeps asking questions about what is healthy, what foods are, yes, and Debbie actually knows Alyssa. She hasn't met Bo yet, but she knows Alyssa. She asks about, you know, what foods are healthy, you know, and she's constantly picking stuff up. Nona, is this healthy? Nona, is this healthy? And I think I saw her other grandmother, Frida, here for just a second. I don't know if Frida is still here or not, but Frida, is she doing that to you too? Is she like picking everything up and asking you if it's healthy? And I've gotten her to try a couple of other things. If I said that it was healthy, she still is not a big vegetable eater, but she's at least trying, you know, some of them. I know, Debbie, she'll be in kindergarten here in about a month. But she keeps asking questions about, so Frida, hello. So how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling better. I know you're trying to rest and recover. But so everybody, this is Alyssa and Bo's other grandmother, Frida, Dita. They call her Dita. Dita, this is everybody else. So glad you are here. But and Alyssa has been really excited about helping take care of you. So just be prepared for some more pampering this week. But she's been asking a lot about which foods are healthy, why am I so healthy? And I think she means, why do I eat so many vegetables? Hello, Mary. I don't think she means, why am I so healthy? I think she's asking why I eat so many vegetables. But she's been listening, you know, and she heard me talking about our picnic that was coming up on Tuesday when we take them on a little teeny tiny hike, because Bo's like this tall. So we're going on a little hike Tuesday to Frozen Head, and she heard me talking about the picnic, and she decided that she was going to invite her group of civilians to a picnic today. So while her mommy was at a market, she helped me prep some strawberries and slice up a banana and then add some baby carrots to a plate. And she made a little basket and made a picnic for herself and her little sister Bo and for Papaw. Of course, Frida, Dad didn't want any of it. He wanted nothing to do with strawberries, bananas, and carrots. But, you know, we tried. But anyway, so she had her own little picnic. So Alyssa and Deanna get all of the Homework Bravo stickers. And Carol, you get a little bit because you didn't do yours today. But anyway, so that was your homework for last week. Bravo, everybody. The handful of people that did it, but especially bravo, Alyssa. Very good job on your homework. This week, we are talking about fuel versus friction. So according to Kelly Clarkson, and I'm not going to sing tonight, but according to Kelly Clarkson, if something doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger, right? She sings that all the time. I don't know about you, but just avoiding a melodramatic, like an overly dramatic, unlikely death scenario isn't always necessarily a motivational speech for me to do something, okay? And yes, better late than never, Carol. But that doesn't always necessarily motivate me into doing something. So the 3 fast facts from Weight Watchers this week are, number 1, fuel. So we're talking about fuel, and we're talking about friction. So fuel, behavioral scientists call anything that makes a behavior easier for us to do, they call that fuel. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Loretta says, cantaloupe here is so bad, but oh, what's wrong with it? But the watermelon is delicious, especially the mini ones. Huh? That she could eat one herself. Yeah, I could eat an entire watermelon by myself, 100%, hands down, been there, done it. But fuel, again, according to behavioral scientists, fuel is anything that makes it easier. If it makes it easier for us to do it, then it's fuel. So think of like something like having fruits and veggies already pre-washed and ready to eat. That would be fuel, because all you have to do, they're already done, already good to go, and it's easy. So it's already washed, already prepped, already cut if it needs to be cut, whatever. So that would be a form of fuel. I know it's fuel too because it's food, it's fuel for your body, but it's fuel because it makes it easy. So you're much more likely to do it because you're much more likely to grab it. So like if you open the refrigerator door and you see, oh, fantastic, I've already got pre-cut up, pre-washed, whatever things ready to go, that's fuel because you're much more likely to grab them because it's already done and it's easy, okay? Friction, on the other hand, so in that same logic, anything that makes and Loretta says, love raw peppers dipped in hummus. Yeah. So friction, on the other hand, anything that makes a behavior more challenging to do is friction. So it's it's literally the opposite of the fuel. So like if you, let's say, if you looked outside and you see a torrential downpour, lightning, whatever, that would make it more challenging to go outside for your morning walk. So that would be friction. You would be much less likely to go out and walk if you, even if that's something that you normally do, but you might peep out the window and go, I don't know, I'm probably not going to do that. That would be a little bit of friction because then it would be harder to go out, and get your walk done. Or if we go back to the veggies again, if you don't cut them up, don't clean them, don't wash them, hide them in a crisper drawer for days and days and days and days and days, and you can't see them, can't find them, and then when you pull them out, they're just mush, that would be friction, because that's going to make it harder to eat your vegetables when you didn't get them ready and you just let them go to mush. Okay, does that make sense? So fuel versus friction. So hopefully y'all understand the difference between those two. Okay, and then fuel versus friction. So humans tend, this is the third fast fact from Weight Watchers, and I forgot to remind you all, if you go into your app and if you find those 3 bars, and Gwen calls them the hamburger, she said somebody called them the pancakes, it's the 3 lines like this in the upper left-hand corner. In case I've forgotten to remind you lately, you can click on that, touch it on your phone, touch it on your tablet, and you can go down to Discover Content, and then when you touch Discover Content, it will take you to the current week's content. But since this topic, I'm always the week behind. So whatever was the prior week on Weight Watchers, that's what we're talking about, so that you can catch up. You can revisit it. If you didn't have a live workshop, you can consider this your in-person workshop. But so the fuel versus friction, these 3 fast facts are there. So when you go to the little hamburger thing, the little 3 lines, scroll down and go to Discover Content. That's also where you can find Headspace. You can find the walking, the audio walking things. You can find some of the coaching things. So when you have a chance, when we get done, go to those 3 lines and go ahead and touch it and let that menu drop down so that you can find all these things. But those 3 fast facts, you will be able to go back to prior week's topics and you will be able to find these. So anyway, so the third fast fact is that humans tend to do things that require the least amount of friction. Is that a surprise to anybody? Is that a surprise to anybody? Even though Kelly Clarkson says she's clear on this. I mean, she's very clear on this, and she even spells Kelly correctly. But she's very clear that if it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger. And yet, these experts at Weight Watchers and these scientists are telling us that humans tend to do the thing that requires the least amount of friction. Yeah, duh. Of course. We're all going to do the thing that takes the least path of resistance, the least amount of friction, the easiest to do. We're all going to lean that way. So an example of fuel might be what I said before. So it might be washing and prepping your, fruits and veggies, your 0-point fruits and veggies, and then putting them in a clear container. So this is an example of fuel. This is a container of grapes. I went ahead and I went so far as to decide when I was at the grocery store today, okay, if I buy this bag of grapes, and I weighed it. If I buy this bag of grapes, it was like $2.99 a pound or something like that. And that included the bag, the stems, the everything else. Or this container weighed, this one was actually a little bit more, but it was on sale for $4.99. So for $5, I got, because it was on sale, I got this huge container of grapes, no stem, no, whatever, somebody else has already picked it and put it in here. All I have to do is wash these and eat them. But this is a clear container. So once I've washed these, and if I put them at eye level in my refrigerator, this is fuel. I know it's fuel because I'm going to put it in my body, but this is fuel because when I open the refrigerator, it's going to be at eye level. I got this, and I got a thing of pre-cut up melon to be at eye level, so it's fuel because when I open that door, all I have to do is just reach. I just have to reach and grab it, okay? So that's an example of fuel. We're going to take the path of least resistance. That's going to be easy. There's no resistance there. All I have to do is just pop this lid off, because I'm going to wash these when we get done tonight. When we get done with the chat, I'm going to wash these and put them in. Again, at eye level, there's no resistance there. All I have to do is just open the lid, and I can eat them. Okay, so clear container, see through it, prepped, ready to go, clear container, eye level, ready to go. Or if snacks being in the house is an issue for you, then you could add some friction, so you could make it harder because you're going to be less likely to do it if there's some friction. You could add some friction by like moving it out to the garage, maybe taking it to the basement, maybe sending it to work with somebody. Or you could put those snacks, if they're going to be a problem for you, you could put them in an opaque container. This is an opaque container. It just means you can't really see through it. This also happens to be our camping snacks container. And so you all have seen this a million times, because every time we talk about camping, traveling, going anywhere, taking food in the car, whatever, I always show you my camping snacks container. And this is just an old laundry pod container, and after all the laundry pods were out, we ran it through the dishwasher so it does not smell like laundry detergent, and we use unscented laundry detergent too, so that probably helps. But the point is, this is an opaque container, so this is filled with snacks. And I hear a lot of you all talking about, oh my gosh, snacks are so hard for me because my husband wants to keep this and that, and whatever. Well, these are snacks that I have pre-planned for us to take on our trip on Tuesday with the girls, but these are things, some of the things in here, if I could see these, like if these were sitting eye level in a clear container where I could see them, it would be a problem, because I would be eating out of these snacks instead of eating my grapes and my already cut up melon. And it's things like, and these are things that I can have. I just need to plan for them, and I don't need to just be sitting and munching them. So like, a Belvita, these Alyssa's fruit bars that she loves. Cheese crackers. I've got peanut butter crackers in here too. I've got Jif to go. This entire container of Jif to go, that's like 2 licks of peanut butter for me, and that's 8 points. So I'm keeping all of this. I keep all of this in an opaque container. I need this to be ready to go. I need this to be handy, ready to go when we leave to, to go on our trip. But this is not anything that I need sitting out. Or trust me, there's like 4 of these in here. If this was in a clear container, if there was no friction, I'd just be peeling them and eating them, peeling them and eating them, peeling them and eating them, okay? Does that make sense? So there's friction between me and this. I know it's there. I understand that this is in the kitchen. This is in my kitchen all the time. This sits on the bottom shelf over in our pantry, because our space is so small. We have just shelves over here, but this sits on the bottom. It's closed. It's opaque. I can't see through it. I mean, I know they're in there. I packed this. I know that they're in there, but I'm going to be much less likely with this friction. So think about friction as being harder to do. So with the friction of not being able to see these all the time and not being at eye level, much more likely to not, yeah. Loretta says, shame on Weight Watchers for making peanut butter 8 points. Yeah, I don't need to be eating that giant thing of peanut butter anyway. Okay, but so some friction is going to keep me from eating this, from just sitting, just that being the go-to. And the fuel is having this washed, prepped, ready. Exactly. Mary says out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. Washed, prepped, ready, eye level, ready to go. Okay. So fuel versus fiction. Okay. Does that make sense? What that is? So your homework for this week is fuel or friction. So, and I keep trying to say fiction. So fuel or friction. And I want you to pick, are you going to make something fuel, Are you going to put it in a clear container? Are you going to prep it? Are you going to get it ready? So fuel, or are you going to do friction and put something out of sight, out of the building, out of the whatever, out of the area? So fuel or friction, you all decide. Do that for your homework, and it's hashtag FUELAND, no wait, or FUELORFRICTION. So hashtag fuel or friction. And I understand, yes, Sandra, it is time to drink some water. I understand that this is a holiday week, but more than 2 of y'all have got to do your homework, because Alyssa is not going to do this, okay? And thank you, Lynn, for posting that. Yep, Sarah usually has pre-cut up fruit in the fridge, and it's done. So Sarah's already done her homework. So as soon as Casey gets those badges done, Sarah, I will have to circle back around and give you your homework badge. Okay, so everybody do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. And again, Lynn, thank you for posting that. Sandra is exactly right. It is time for, it's the halfway point. So if you are, if you're new with us, this is an hour-long chat. In the first 30 minutes, we talk about whatever the Weight Watchers topic was from the prior week. And then in the second 30 minutes, we do something fun. And tonight, it's something fun and delicious. Lily and I already taste tested this. And Lily is one of my, she's a kid, she's 16 years old, that works at Casey Kitchen Center. So we've already taste tested this, so I'm super duper excited about it. But here at the halfway point, it's time for you to drink some water. And this is just sign language for water. It's a W, water. So we have an ESL class at our church, so we're always looking for opportunities to, to do some sign language. And Loretta says, fuel or friction, love putting berries in the freezer and then eating them. Okay, so Loretta, what do you put them in so that you can see them? Because we all need to know how, would you wash them? What do you put them in? How do you make sure that you can see those? How do you make it fuel? And this is the one time a week that I know that y'all drink water. So everybody take a quick break and get something to drink. I'm still digging my refrigerator tea. This time I'm still digging out of this container that my friend Karen gave me. This is still the Bird and Blend Tea Company. Yeah! Annette says, OMG, finally made the fridge tea. Love it. I know, I'm like addicted to it. But again, people are like, well, just make it all year round. It's not special if you make it all year round, okay? So I only make it when it's hot outside. This one is called Deck Chair Dreaming. If you have an opportunity to buy Bird and Blend Tea Company tea, I gotta tell you, Deck Chair Dreaming, this is pretty darn fantastic. It's chamomile apple pieces, rosehip, linden blossom, I don't even know what that is, hibiscus, valerian, okay, so I'm going to be asleep here in a little bit, orange peel, and natural flavoring. Deck Chair Dreaming. Fantastic. Okay, get another sip of water, and then we'll start the second half. Also, if you're watching this later on YouTube, and if you think, yeah, I don't really want to go through all that classroom part of it, I just want to see the part where we cook or do a taste test or something like that, then skip to the apron. When Casey divides these up, she, Loretta says, did anyone try the Ninja Creamy Breeze? The ladies at WW love it, and she can't find it. They're all sold out. Yeah, I heard they were all sold out too, and that one was not my fault. I'm not the one that sold that one out. But anyway, if you just want to watch the second half, if you missed the second half, if you think, dang, I want to see that again, that's when the apron comes on. Okay, so this is the second half of chat number 324, and we're talking about making things fuel, so making them easy, or making them friction, making them hard. So being in the new showroom and not having a working stove, the refrigerator being across the room, the microwave being on the floor, that's been a little bit of friction from keeping me from eating what I would like to. Because it's friction, because it's hard for me to get to, it's hard, to cook something in the microwave, I have to do this. And yeah, probably, I don't do that a whole lot. I can't wash dishes, because we have one bathroom sink in the entire place. We don't have our big sink set up yet. So that's kind of friction. So Lily and I worked on my fuel this week and what we were going to do to be able to eat while we're there in anticipation of getting the new showroom set up. So we're going to pair what I'm making tonight with a garden haul. not really. I'm not really going to show you what I hauled from the garden this week, but it is going to be almost everything that I'm working with tonight is from the garden. So I have a little bitty garden spot with my neighbor. You can grow these things. Debbie grows a lot of these things without even having an outside garden. She's got a hydroponic, is that what it's called, Debbie? Vegetable lettuce salad bar. Let's call it that. There at her place. But Lily and I went ahead and pre-prepared part of this, but I'm going to combine this with making and so Debbie has a hydroponic salad bar at her house. But so we're going to combine this with it also being a couple of days before July 4th. So I know a few of you said earlier what your plans are for this weekend. I'm going to show you what my plans are. And I'm making this again for the night of July 4th, just for John and I, after we return the girls to their parents. So we're taking them hiking, we're doing picnicky stuff, and then we're going to splurge a little bit for that night. But here's a little preview of it. Okay, so the first thing that went off when we first started the chat, the air fryer was going off. So I went ahead and made, ahead of the chat, I went ahead and made some corn in the air fryer. I love corn on the cob made in the air fryer. You can just do 360 to 380 for the temperature, and then do it for about 12 to 15 minutes until the corn is just is tender. And so my corn is good and tender now. Now I'm going to get the base, I guess we're going to call it, for what Lily and I made this weekend, what we made there in the showroom. So easy to make that we made it while in between customers. But the base that we're going to put this on, because it needs a carrier, and it'll make sense when I show you what this is. So the carrier for this is going to be just an inexpensive, thinly sliced steak. You can use flank steak. You can use any kind of steak. You can use chicken. You could do fish. You can put what I'm getting ready to show you on anything. But in preparation for that, I just got some inexpensive, thinly sliced steak, and I am going to put, let's see, Loretta's recipe. Loretta has a recipe for, Loretta's saying, do you like it? Ladies, take a premier protein shake with a tablespoon of sugar-free pudding and said it's out of this world. So what are you making when you do that? Y'all explain what you're making. Okay, while I'm showing you this. So this was just an inexpensive, thinly sliced steak, and I'm going to add this to my air fryer. And I just got this was like a fajita steak, and it was already sliced thin. You can get whatever your favorite kind of steak is. You can do fish, you can do chicken, but since this is 4th of July, you could do portobello mushrooms. That would be really good. Roasted vegetables. But I'm going to do just a thinly sliced fajita steak. Okay. And I'm going to spritz it with just a little bit of spray. Are you making? You are still talking about the Ninja Creamy. Oh, sorry. I don't have. Believe it or not, that's an appliance I don't have. Okay. A little bit of nonstick spray, a little bit of olive oil spray. Then I'm going to do some Bragg nutritional yeast. So, and if you haven't seen what all I do with nutritional yeast, yes, there is a chat for that. I think it was Carol Lou last week that said there's a chat for that. So I don't know, it just makes it extra. Just makes it extra to add the nutritional yeast. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of ground pepper on it. Now I'm not going to put a very flavorful spice on it this time, and you're going to see why here in just a second. So I'm going to put just a little bit of some fresh ground pepper on there. Okay, and because the steak is so thin, sorry. So Sarah says, can we see? It's not a pot, it's my air fryer. So I'm just putting this in my air fryer. It was some thinly sliced steak, a little spritz of nonstick olive oil spray, and then some nutritional yeast and some fresh ground pepper. And again, the reason I'm doing the fresh ground pepper, I'll show you here in a second. So that just went into my air fryer pan or my air fryer basket. I'm going to put it in, and remember, scoop. If you have a Simple Living Products air fryer, scoop. Don't shove it in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on 320 for about 10 minutes just because it's such thin steak. Okay, I'm not showing you the piece de resistance yet, not until the steak is done. The next thing, and I've got my little farmer's bag here, the next thing is some cucumbers. So we're getting cucumbers right now. We're getting arugula, we're getting, gosh, what all have we got? Dinosaur kale, collards, our zucchini blooms are this big, so I'm feeling good about some zucchini this year. And, okay, now y'all might be wanting Ninja Creamy, and you can't find them anywhere. But anyway, all this is out of the garden. We're getting a few tomatoes. These are actually some tomatoes that Alyssa planted that look like she wanted them because on the little bag, it looked like they're shaped like hearts. And so they actually are kind of shaped like hearts. So these are some things that we're getting out of the garden right now. So I'm going to make y'all wait until almost the very end. So I've got about not quite 20 minutes of suspense. Okay, but having a fresh garden, we're doing so much better. My neighbor and I are doing so much better this year than I have in years past because we're tag teaming, and even with all of the rain that we've gotten, it's still, you almost have to water it every single day. So I'm just doing some, cucumber strips here, and I am normally a cucumber circles girl. So I have to ask you, okay, every year when I do a garden, this is a survey that I do with you all every single year. So do you slice your cucumbers like this? So are you a cucumber spears person? Or do you slice your cucumbers like this? So let's take a quick vote real quick. Are you team cucumber spears? Do you slice them like that? Or circles? Just curious. And I forgot to do that survey this year. Circles. Okay, Loretta does circles. Oh, Annette does spears. Carol Lou is circles. So I'm going to do spears just because that's different for me. And I got to tell you, I love cucumbers. Corinne says diced in circles. Debbie says mini cukes, either way. Mary says round. Phyllis says circles. Sherry says circles. Corinne says circles. Okay, so just to be different, I'll do, and Sandra says slice them. So Sandra this way. Oh, so one Sandra says I slice them and one Sandra says both. Trisha's circles. And Mary does spears for noshing. You know what, Mary, I hadn't thought about that, but cutting them in spears would be better, like if you were going to dip it in something. And hello, Julie. What did you, okay, Julie just finished, she's here, but she just finished dinner. What did you have for dinner? And Sarah says, oh no, local kid, oh no. Sarah says the local kids are shooting off fireworks and her cats are not happy. I'm so sorry, kitty cats. But you're right, that cutting them as a spear, that would be, you know, good for dipping. Okay, and Katie says she's team circles, then in half for half circles, and she likes English cucumbers. I do too. If I buy them in the store, I do like English cucumbers. Okay, and then here are a few of the tomatoes. So this would be really good. I can just eat them like this. So look how good this is already looking. Okay, so we're talking about this. We're spending this whole month talking about. We spent the whole month of June talking about our routines being disrupted. So Tuesday is July 4th. Today is July 2nd. Yesterday was July the 1st. So July 4th is not until Tuesday. But I promise, and no, Kathy, the skins are not, they are not tough on the homegrown cucumbers. Look. And thank you for giving me an excuse to take a bite of a cucumber. I love them. They're one of my favorites. I could eat cucumbers and watermelon every single day if they're fresh and in season. But we've been talking about disrupting our schedules. So July 1st was Saturday, July 1st is Sunday, July 3rd is Monday, and July 4th is Tuesday. But I promise you, a lot of us, our schedules have been disrupted July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th maybe even to the 5th. But for a lot of us, this one-day holiday has disrupted 4 days. Part of taking control of your schedule or taking control of your routine, taking it back. Remember, we were talking last week about enlisting your civilians. So what I am making, these are all things that my civilian would eat. So my civilian is out walking the dog right now so that he won't bother us. Oh, and let's see, Julie says broccoli, zucchini, yellow squash, and a few tomatoes sauteed in Evo and garlic over spaghetti. Whoa, yeah, that was her dinner tonight. With Parmesan and a little, let's see, garlic. Oh, yeah. And, oh, Julie's 26th wedding anniversary is Wednesday. Happy anniversary. But so this is something that my civilian will eat, no problem, because I'm getting ready to pair it with something else that is more like civilian food. But remember, kind of keeping control of your routine and keeping control of this is making sure that everybody around you is happy, making sure that everybody around you wants to help participate. So far we've got corn made in the air fryer, which he loves. He would eat this every day if I would make it. And then we've got some cucumbers and some tomatoes out of the garden. Okay, I'm going to check the steak real quick. And remember, we've got a thin, just an inexpensive steak. I'm going to check that. And actually, you know what? That is done enough. Because I like mine just a little bit rare. And this is going to continue cooking itself. So I'm going to put some of these steak strips. I'm going to go ahead and put some of those in my little bowl here. And if you notice, I'm using my little Tausi half bowls because I just love them. So what I'm getting ready to show you, again, I'm putting it on steak because it's traditionally served on steak. Is traditionally served on flank steak, but it is, again, also good on chicken, fish, pork chops. I forgot to mention pork chops earlier, grilled vegetables. So Julie just went down a laundry list of grilled vegetables that she had. Roasted vegetables would be good. We just got that Weber grill for like, what, a third of the price that it should have been. Trust me, we will be grilling some vegetables as it's coming out of the garden. I've planted eggplant. We've got zucchini and squash getting ready to come in. This is fantastic on that as well. Okay, so this is the mystery food, and I'm not actually going to make it with you. I'm going to tell you how to make it. Lily and I went ahead and made it. Oh, I got to get something out of the freezer to show you too. Lily and I went ahead and made it just so that, as a time saver, we went ahead and made it, and Julie said it's in the hundreds. It's 100 there, so she's not grilling. Don't grill. Put it, make it in your air fryer. The only reason, Julie, that we're grilling is because, yeah, salmon. It would be good with salmon. So the only reason we're grilling, Julie, is because we were leaving Ace Hardware today after getting some keys made, and John found a brand new Weber grill that was out of the box for $70, and it had been like $216. Okay, so anyway, Lily and I made this Saturday. And when this is posted on YouTube, when this video is posted on YouTube, I'm going to have Casey do a video in video. So the video that Lily and I did, no, it's not pesto, Debbie. We did make some pesto. We did make some pesto Saturday. But the video that Lily and I did is 3 minutes and 30 seconds long. So it's too long to be a reel. So we posted it as a reel at the speed of light. Yep, Debbie. Shh. So we posted it at the speed of light, you know, like super speed, but there's no, there's no sound to it, so you can't really, you can't hear what we're talking about. But I will have Casey post it as a picture-in-picture, as a video, and then also it's going to be posted as a separate YouTube short. I've never posted a YouTube short before. I think it just means it's a short YouTube video. I don't know. I just want to make the food and eat it. Casey will figure the rest of that out. But so Lily and I went ahead and made this Saturday just because we had a lot. So we had a lot of vegetables that I had harvested out of our, again, really small garden space. And there's so much of it that it's going to go bad. So our arugula was starting to bolt, which just means it was starting to bloom, which is not a bad thing. You can let some vegetables bloom, but as soon as the arugula gets too big and starts to bolt, arugula has like a peppery, it's just a lettuce leaf. It has a peppery flavor, but if you let it bolt, it gets hot. And I don't mean hot in a good way. It's like hot, spicy hot, like a hot pepper hot. And then it's just not good, you know, arugula anymore. So we're overrun with arugula right now. We have a dinosaur kale coming out our ears, and we have collards coming out of our ears. So Lily and I made, and Debbie just alluded to it, Lily and I made chimichurri. So we made enough chimichurri to, and I'm going to explain how to make it here in a minute, and then you'll just have to watch that video later on actually how we did it. But Lily and I made enough chimichurri in 3.5 minutes that we filled up. Oh, and also the recipe for the chimichurri. Oh, this is frozen again. Hold on. The recipe for the chimichurri will be on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com here within the next couple of days. And gosh, you know, since I'll have Casey's children all tomorrow night and all day Tuesday, she really should get it done quick this week, right? Don't y'all think? But we made enough chimichurri in 3.5 minutes that we made all of this chimichurri. What's in here? These 2 cubes are in here. We made a small jar, and we have, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it was 6 other quarter cup size frozen chimichurris. And I can tell you, and I'll tell you what chimichurri is here in just a second, Sarah. I will tell you, this is frozen, but it smells so good. Chimichurri is so aromatic. It's so, I mean, oh my gosh, it smells good. It smells so good. Okay, chimichurri, this is how we made it. So remember, Lily's 16. She doesn't cook. I'm not a fancy, fantastical cook. We have arugula running out of our ears. We've got dinosaur kale running out of our ears, and we've got collards running out of our ears. Chimichurri is historically, or traditionally, I guess, made with parsley. It's made out of parsley. Sometimes people put cilantro in it, some other things. So I made garden greens chimichurri. So, and this is what it looks like when it's done. And I'm telling you, it just smells so good that I want to try it right now. Oh, it smells so good. So chimichurri, my chimichurri has 2 cups of arugula, so fresh out of my garden arugula. It's got about, I don't know, some giant leaves of the dinosaur kale and a few giant leaves. I mean, I'm talking, the collards, the leaves were this big, okay? And we just tore those up. We put that into a food processor, so we had about 3 cups, probably a little more than 3 cups of greens. So again, it could be, oh, and we did cilantro too, so we had about a cup of cilantro. So we have, yes, and Debbie said it's Cuban or Latin restaurant. It's so good on skirt steak. It is so good on skirt steak, flank steak. I didn't have either one of those, so I just got this inexpensive steak, and we are going to try it here in just a second. Let me grab a fork, because I want to eat it like right now. It smells so good. But this is a great way to use up greens out of the garden. So again, it could be parsley, it could be the cilantro, it could be arugula, kale, whatever you have, whatever greens you have, you can use them to make this, because it just has to be some kind of greens. I do like cilantro, so I made sure that it had cilantro in it. I again used 3 different kinds of greens that were none of the greens that is in traditional chimichurri. And I did the cilantro, and then you add garlic cloves to that, red pepper flakes, and I've tried it with and without the red pepper flakes. They're not hot in this, so, because it's just like a pinch, it's just like a heavy pinch of them. So if you're thinking, ooh, red pepper flakes, those are so hot, this is not hot. And I think, is it Carol Lou, or you my tender tongue? I can't remember. Somebody's got like, what is it, milk toast taste or something. I don't know. Somebody was saying that this is not hot at all. So it's got lots of greens in it. Look how good this is. This has got to be good for you. It has to be good for you. Look how dark green that is. And we all know that the darkest green, darkest colored vegetables are so, yeah, okay, it's Carol that does have a baby tongue. This is not hot, okay? And it's a topping. So Corinne says, is it a sauce or a topping or whatever? And it doesn't just have to be for meat. You can eat it on tofu. You can eat it on steak. Steak is the traditional way to eat it. Chicken, fish, vegetables, roasted vegetables. Trust me, I have so much of this. I'm going to be eating it every way that I can possibly think of. But it's greens, some kind of greens, a pinch, like a heavy pinch of red pepper flakes, a little bit of olive oil. So for that whole big thing that we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We probably made maybe 18 servings, but in the recipe that's going to be on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, yes, Loretta, it has olive oil in it. On the recipe that'll be on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, that makes 8 servings, and it has, and yes, Kathy, it's awesome that you can freeze it, because think about how, yeah, it'd be good on a salad, Debbie. Think about all those beautiful greens that are down there in my garden, and if I didn't figure out some other way, I mean, even with me and my neighbor Coco, even with both of us harvesting out of this, we couldn't eat all that has been provided for us this year, okay? So it's greens, pepper with the cilantro, the red pepper flakes. The recipe on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com is for 8 servings, and it has 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it, so that's really the only points that are in there. And so it's greens, olive oil, garlic, the red pepper flakes, a tiny bit, just a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and red wine vinegar. So we put red wine vinegar in ours, and that was 1/4 of a cup. You can do rice wine vinegar, white vinegar, any kind of vinegar. Oh my gosh, I've talked us down to just 4 minutes, so let me hurry up and try this. You do put it in a food processor, and for chimichurri, we just put it on chop. So I didn't want it to be smooth, more like pesto is, so I put it on chop, and I'm just telling you, the aromatics on this are fantastic. So every time I've ever had it served in a restaurant, it comes just kind of delicately, you know, spread across the steak. And every time I've had it in a restaurant, it'd be great on a baked potato. Every time I've had it in a restaurant, it has been on some kind of steak. But let me just get a little bite of this here. We don't need a whole piece of steak for television purposes, but let me just get a little bite of this here. The garlic, oh my gosh, this smells so good. And trust me, my civilian is going to be super happy to eat this. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's good. It was good yesterday when we made it, but leaving it overnight in the freezer, all of those flavors have come together. Oh my gosh. Even if your civilian doesn't think that they like green things, good Lord, this is delicious. Okay, so this is a meal that any civilian would eat. You got July 4th coming up on Tuesday. If you're in a panic, if you haven't thought about what you're going to make, if you haven't thought about what you're going to do, chimichurri is so stinking easy to make. You can grill, not grill, you can air fry, you know, whatever you want to do. So this super easy meal, Lily and I made all of this chimichurri in 3.5 minutes of the food processor. I cooked my corn in the air fryer. The air fryer corn recipe is already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. The chimichurri recipe will be on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com within the next couple of days, within the next day or two. Again, just some fresh vegetables out of your garden, or if you've got a farmer's market that you can go to. Oh my gosh, I'm going to try and save this for John, but my gosh, this is good. This is absolutely delicious, if I do say so myself. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you will try this recipe, because I'm so looking forward to eating this on like everything that I can think of. But I hope you all try this recipe. Let me know. So if you find it over on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, let me know if you try it, and let me know what you think. Everybody have a fantastically safe 4th of July. If you're celebrating last night, tonight, tomorrow, just remember that Deanna's husband, or Deanna's son, is a 911 operator, and we want him to have a very quiet, 4th of July evening. But you all be safe out there, have a good time, be considerate, keep your meals fun and fantastic, and I hope you will try the recipe later. If you have any questions about it, let me know, since it'll be a day or two before she gets it posted. But y'all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Good night. Oh, and if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and let that next video roll over, and pretty please subscribe. We're dropping subscribers for some bizarre reason, but y'all let that next video roll over and go ahead and subscribe. And again, thank you so much, and y'all have a blessed 4th of July. God bless America. Yep, and I'll see you next week. Good night.